So here we are then, back once again with F1 2021 and part 7 of my Immersive Driver Career Mode with Alpine F1. Today we have the Austrian Grand Prix, again a track I really enjoy, a track I've had a lot of success in at the past. We got our first podium here last year with Jordan GP, it was an unbelievable race. Not entirely sure we're going to have that pace this weekend. We're having to take a 5-place grid penalty for a new gearbox that I've had to take, simply because it was a gearbox failure last race. I thought it might have been ERS again. It was a gearbox failure, so that broke down in the last race, meaning we've needed to take a new one, and hopefully this new one will see us through this race. We have had to take a couple of new power unit parts as well. Potentially, if we qualify fairly low down, i.e. if we go out in Q1 or lower end of Q2, I might just take a full fresh engine ready for this race. But it is going to be a good one around here. We've got plenty of parts in development as well, so looking to really make that step forward in the next few races. So here we go, ready for qualifying, and it could be a wet one. That looks dry at the moment, so we'll be getting out there very, very early. Oh, I'm nervous for this one. Here we come then, round for our first flying lap, and it's going to be a 1:04.5, which is only enough for third place at the moment. I don't think that's going to be good enough to get through to Q2, but we shall see. We'll go around again on a second flying lap to see if we can improve it all. Well, coming up to the line, 0.3 quicker this time, a 1:04.2. Which is a decent improvement around here. 0.3 is a fairly big amount of time to make up. Don't know if we're going to get a third good run in, but well, the fact we're already 3.5 tenths down suggests very much not. But and there you go, a little bit too much curb taken there. And well, we'll better get into the pits, get a new set of boots on, and hopefully get ourselves through to Q2, because the rain is coming. Well, here we come up to the line, another 1/10.5 gained. It's not enough to improve our position, but should be enough to get through to Q2, you would think. Well, we have gained a little bit of time in this first sector here, so we might as well go around for this second run. As I say, it is going to rain today, so we don't really need to worry about tyre wear too much. Well, another 1/10.5 gained. And, well, a 1:04 flat is what we come up with, and I think that's going to be our lot for Q1, because we probably have some underbody damage. The curbs are very high here, and there you go, another 3 minutes lost there. So let's just keep an eye on the times as we head towards the end of the session. We are in 12th. We are, you know, a decent way above the drop zone and Pierre Gasly, so I think we'll be alright. But we'll just have to see as cars come over the line to finish. And there we go. I think we are through. Yes, we are through in 14th position. We can be happy with that. Couple of tenths inside the drop zone. Going out in Q1 then. Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Mazepin, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. But Mick Schumacher, what a performance to get through to Q2. Here we come for the first timed lap of the session, and it's a 1:12.2, which isn't too bad on the intermediate tyres. It's enough for 5th place at the moment. Fernando Alonso coming through just behind us. Maybe he's starting his
Stay alert out there.
flying lap, but you know, as we know with intermediates, potentially we can stay out there and get our confidence, and they shouldn't weigh too much, although this track isn't getting too wet out there, really. Could be something to keep an eye on. Possible slip conditions very, very quickly after the rain stops, which he says in about 10 minutes time. Well, in about 10 minutes time, that's when crunch time is going to be. So it's all going to be very, very interesting. It looks like we are going to improve very slightly on this lap, depending on how we finish it. A little bit wide there. It's not too bad. We come up to the line. But yeah, it was a poor final corner. Yeah, we will have to come in and get a little bit more fuel in. And see what that does for us. Well, here we come then for our second flying lap in Q2, and that's enough for 7th place at the moment, quicker than Valterri Bottas, which I think we can be pretty happy with in the Mercedes. A little bit wide there, unfortunately, but I am going to stay out there, keep getting the confidence, keep finding where the right lines are. But yeah, unfortunate that we went slightly wide there. And we've gone very deep there, so somehow that is apparently a slightly quicker way around than what we did before, which I find very, very interesting indeed. But that potentially suggests that the conditions are getting better, so we're doing the right thing out here, putting the laps in. Everybody else staying indoors, maybe holding out for the rain possibly stopping and the slicks becoming an option. A little spin there, that's not going to help. Well, we come over the line, a little improvement there. We are probably the last man over the line now. So if we can keep this floored. This qualifying has just finished, so people are going to come over the line with their improved laps. How far are we going to drop down the field? Well, we're already down to 8th. We still have got a little bit of time in hand here. Well, unfortunately, I do think there's something wrong with the Delta. Oh, we've gone wide anyway. We come up to the line. It's not going to be quite good enough to improve, but I think the amount of work we did pumping in lap times, small improvements, did help, because we are through in P9. And we are through to the top 10. Shootout Fernando Alonso in P11. But remember, everybody will have free choice of tyres tomorrow, so it doesn't necessarily matter that it is P11 for Fernando Alonso. But Stroll, Gasly, Tsunoda and Schumacher all out. It's going to be interesting to see who can hold out in Q3, who's going to possibly risk the slicks later on in the session. Well, here we come up to the line for our first lap time in Q3, and it's a 1:13.1, which is enough for 3rd place at the moment. That's an excellent lap. I think the extra time on track to read the conditions and get a bit more confidence with this intermediate tyre has really, really helped, and now we've got a fresh set of boots on. You know, we know where the fast lines are, and you can see we are visibly quicker here, and it's Max Verstappen in front, and you know, he's not pulling away from us at the moment, and that's a good sight of where to brake, where the grip is. A little snap of oversteer there, but still looking pretty good here as we go into the usual high-speed section. And still high speed, don't get me wrong, but it feels pedestrian compared to what we usually do through there. We are still a 10th up on our previous time, which around here
The radar's showing a clear patch.
That's pretty good.
There's about 10 more minutes of this rain.
Again, 10 more minutes of this rain, but he did say that in Q2, and that's going to take us outside of the session, but there you go. A slightly quicker lap, but we're still 8th at the moment, which is a little disappointment, I suppose. But again, a very good exit through turn 1. The whole idea was I put a little bit of extra fuel in so that I could constantly improve the confidence, improve the feel of the car, but yeah, disappointing turn 3 there. I just have to have a cool off lap now. Get these tyres back down to temperature. Get the car charged up again. And come back at it another lap. Well, here we go then. What a lap this has been. 6.5 tenths quicker, and that's enough for 3rd at the moment. A purple final sector, and we probably just about have time to come in, get a fresh set of boots on, take the fuel out of the car, and go one more time to see if we can improve even further. But that was great. We did our cool down lap, and that seemed to work out beautifully.
Your best bet in the current conditions.
So here we go. We reduce all of the fuel in the car. We get back out there. One more go at this. Well, this is crazy. We were the last man over the line. We were purple in Sector 1. We are making up so much time here. Bit of pressure now as Verstappen goes into the pits. We come round the final corner and we stay within the limits. We come up to the line. And what's it going to be? I think it's P7 for the 2nd consecutive race. Maybe a little bit too cautious in that final sector, but I think we can be absolutely thrilled with P7. Of course, we are going to drop down 5 places,
finished,
but
it's time to remind ourselves
wow.
of our top 3: Ricciardo, Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Unbelievable. I mean, Daniel Ricciardo on pole position for McLaren. Lando Norris up there as well. McLaren are doing a terrific job this season. Verstappen only 5th. Leclerc in 6th. But, you know, had Verstappen not been in front of us there, I think maybe we'd have been talking now potentially about a P5. I think we possibly lost a couple of tenths being a little bit too cautious in those last 2 corners, but a 1:11.5 in the wet, we can be very happy with that. Of course, 5 places come down, so we will be starting in P12 tomorrow. That is going to be tough to take, but we are in a terrific position for tomorrow, and hopefully we can get some long-awaited points.
Welcome to the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness, and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position today, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Norris, Max Verstappen and Leclerc. The captain, Vettel, Perez, and Fernando Alonso. Stroll, Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, and Mick Schumacher. Sainz, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Nikita Mazepin. Russell and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Well, we haven't had a grid penalty. I'm bemused. I did change my gearbox at the start of the weekend. The only thing I can think is that we did first practice with that gearbox intact. So did we technically use it for 6 events and therefore the game didn't pick up that we needed a penalty for it? I'm not entirely sure. I'm really not sure. But we shall see what is going to happen in this Grand Prix. So we are apparently going to be starting on the medium tyres. I think that does sort of make sense. The one-stopper coming onto the soft tyres much later on in the Grand Prix. I mean, we could switch that around, get the soft tyres on, try and get the advantage early on, and then switch to the mediums later on, but then people will be coming back at us. So I think this is, on balance, probably the best thing to be doing. The personalised version rather than... Oh no, this is personalised, this is projected. I'm not entirely sure which one we started off with, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Yeah, I have no idea. Let's just hopefully go with the flow and be all right. I don't know, Rock. There we go. That's a nice little getaway. Not too much wheel
Okay, our
space.
system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Had to turn down the game volume there for you guys before you have burst eardrums. But no, looking forward to it. And hopefully we won't do that in the race. I'll see you guys at lights out. Okay then, here we go. Lights out. And away we go here in Austria. It's not the best start off the grid. And look at Vettel. He is absolutely flying, as is Fernando Alonso, our teammate, as he goes into turn 1. I think we managed to get away without any damage there, which is a success. Okay, we're down to 12th. But definitely a success to get out of turn 1 without any damage for once. Somebody going down our inside. Very silly there. Apparently we get warned for it. I think that's absolute rubbish. Why is Schumacher not warned for that? And straight line speed not fantastic, it must be said. And well, Schumacher, what a start for him.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Well, beautiful manoeuvre back on Mick Schumacher there. A little bit of track extending, but I'm happy with that.
The virtual safety car has just been...
Well, what has happened there? Schumacher has had some sort of incident. Not entirely sure. Did he try and go down the inside of Gasly? I think he did. Oh no, he's just stopped. He's just stopped. He must have had a mechanical issue. You can see he is visibly slowing down if we ride on board with him. Yeah. Yeah, he just stops on the corner there. And he is out of the session. I mean, goodness me, some of the cars coming past there. These Williams cars. Is this Latifi? I think it is. Well, unbelievable, but it is probably going to be a full safety car, isn't it? Yeah, safety car deployed, so it's going
Okay,
to
slow
bunch
down,
everybody
slow
back
down.
up again.
Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
So that didn't take long, but we are in 10th place after the first lap. Woohoo! Nearly lost it there. For the second time. But we need to catch the safety car queue, keep everything nice and warm, and hopefully...
When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
Okay then, safety car in this lap, and a possible chance to get past Perez at this restart. Interestingly, I think most of the top 10 are on medium tyres, but a lot of the guys behind are on softs, so the sort of alternate strategy. We are trying to stay as close as we can to Perez, but here we go. We're back underway
The
here
track is
in
clear.
Austria.
Green flag.
And we're going to try and take it nice and easy for these first few laps, but there goes Gasly, sorry, potentially down our inside. I'm just going to sort of leave him the space, run it a little bit wide, give ourselves a good exit towards turn 4. Gasly again, beaten for straight line speed, but we'll have a look down the inside, a little bit.
Be careful
of
with the front
contact.
wing. You've taken some minor damage. A
Apparently
new
some
strategy
minor
is available on the
damage
MFD.
taken. Well, you join me on lap 8 of this Grand Prix, and you can see up ahead Alonso and Perez are getting very frisky with each other. And well, it's going to be very interesting going into turn 4. I think Perez is going to have the DRS, but it looks like Alonso's managed to hold off, so fair play to Fernando, who with another fantastic start has got himself well into the points. But we're doing very nicely down in 10th here, but Gasly is right behind us and looking like he could want to get racy with us very, very soon. Gasly potentially let him through tactically and then have the DRS on the exit of the corner, and that will help us to close in on the guys in front. And now we're involved in their battle, which is crucial really. But Perez is past Alonso, and you'd feel Perez will push on now. But Alonso is in our reach.
Some information on Giovinazzi. They are out of the race. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Well,
Drop
looks
your
like
speed. Our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
A new strategy, possibly. I wonder whether actually what we need to do,
Understood. Copy that.
come in and get the hard tyres on, but not entirely sure that will work, so I stick with what we've got for now. Wear isn't too bad, but well, there are a fair few coming in. In fact, everybody has come in. So we are now the race leaders. And I think everybody else will have converted to a two-stop strategy, so...
Approaching the safety car. You're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the safety car.
So this is very interesting, having to mix up the strategy. Was not expecting to be leading the race today at any point, but you know, surely this is going to be a good position to be in. But you know, it's also very risky because I think every single car has come into the pits. except us. So
Okay, the safety car is coming in this lap. We'll be pacing the field in Sector 3. Make sure to respect the delta until the safety car is in the pit lane.
the safety car coming in. We are now the safety car. We've got to be the ones to be the pace car. The safety car coming round now into the pit lane. I'm going to absolutely floor it. Halfway around here. So here we go. We're back underway here in Austria, and that was a decent restart. But realistically, we are not going to be in the lead of this Grand Prix for too long, and that's a bit unfortunate, going a little bit wide there. We seem to be getting a few more of those warnings today than I probably deserve to get, but there's Hamilton round our outside. We're gonna fight for this. We might as well. There's no point just letting the whole field through on their fresh rubber. Let's see how we get on in this Grand Prix, but we are leading the way. A third of the way through this Austrian Grand Prix. Well, Daniel Ricciardo trying to have a look around the outside there. That was never going to work. He is going to have to fight for this, Daniel.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
But unfortunately, DRS will probably be the end of any sort of resistance that we can give to this. Here comes Daniel Ricciardo, last of the late break as usually. But you know what that gives us? DRS on him, although I think he's going to be able to pull away now.
Some wear on the MGUK. To manage this, we'll need
Can
to
we
lower
overtake
our ERS
Lewis
deployment
Hamilton?
mode.
We go down the inside. Oh, what a move! We make a brilliant move on Lewis Hamilton there. And we're having fun out here at the front. Okay, this is virtually guaranteeing Daniel Ricciardo the race victory. But I'm alright with that. And there goes Bottas. Hamilton made it past at the last corner. Although Bottas going very slowly there. We have been given some awful news about our MGUK.
Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
Look at Valtteri Bottas, speaking of aggressive. That is aggressive defensive manoeuvres. But I think we should be able to make it past here. Made a move past Lewis Hamilton here last lap. And now we have his teammate, so we're still in third position here. Causing a bit of a trolley train. I think the whole of the grid.
Third, P3.
Is behind us. We've somehow managed to stay in front. A bit of a warning for a collision with Verstappen there.
Okay, the incident has been cleared.
Well,
Let's
safety
get back
car
up to racing
deployed.
speed.
What on
Check
earth
your
is
MFD
going
for
on?
a new strategy option. We've been
Raikkonen
informed of an
out of the
incident which
session.
has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. The safety car is being deployed.
Wow. Kimi Raikkonen now out. And, well, we have the option to switch to this strategy. I'm more inclined to possibly go for the hard tyre at this point and try and make this
Drop your speed.
run all
Our
the way to
delta
the
is
end.
too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
So let's... Ah! Ooh, that was close. Let's swap to the hard tyre. Let's give ourselves a chance here of doing something really special in this Grand Prix. If we just swap to what the rest of the field are doing, then, you know, we're consigning ourselves to not really scoring any points.
This lap, then come into the pits at the end of this lap.
But if we come in now, stick the hard tyres on, and we don't have to pit. And now we're in, and Daniel Ricciardo has come in as well. So we're making sure there's no
Go, go, go.
front wing change. Well, we are going to come out in
Look after these
9th
tyres
position,
now. We
so
want to finish the race on this compound.
yeah, other guys have come out back on the medium tyre. They're surely going to struggle to make it all the way to the end. But with the amount of safety cars today, I think this could be a shrewd strategy, because we're going to be 9th. You know, we're on brand new hard tyres. A lot of the field are on wearing soft tyres. They're going to have to come in and switch back onto the mediums in a couple of laps' time. But this is definitely an interesting time of the race. I think it was possibly a little bit early for the soft tyres. That's why I've opted for the hards. I would have went medium ideally, but of course we have to use both sets of tyres, or two of the 3 compounds. So yeah, we're just gonna see how this goes. We're in 9th position. Daniel Ricciardo, remember, is the net race leader, so this is an excellent position to be in, as we're wearing down the laps as well. On to lap 20 now. This is very, very interesting, and only 15 cars running at this point, so you know, we're in with a very, very good shout of some excellent points here.
Position until the green flags.
So, Daniel Ricciardo is right in front of us. You can see visibly there's a lot of guys in front of us on the soft tyres. They're going to have to come into the pits again. Can we get 20 seconds on them by the end of the race? That's essentially what we're saying. If we can beat them by 20 seconds on these tyres, then we will finish in some excellent points. But here we go, we're preparing to resume racing, and we're back underway once again here
Clear.
in Austria. It's going to be unlikely to see another safety car, but if we do, that'll be ideal. There goes Bottas. He's obviously not really going to be in our sights today, although we did overtake him once into turn 4. We could give it another go. There's Verstappen as well. So all of those guys have come in and sort of followed the lead of Daniel Ricciardo. Look at this. We are much faster in a straight line than Max Verstappen. We give him the room and we are through. So we've had Hamilton, we've had Bottas, and now Verstappen into turn 4 today. Well, look at this. They're going 3 wide into turn 3 up ahead. This cannot work. One of them is going to have to back out of it, and well, it was Bottas really that did. But look at this. Bottas is going on Daniel Ricciardo. They're going 3 wide into turn 4 now. This is just not going to work. Ricciardo makes contact. We're through on Pierre Gasly, and he's more realistically who we are battling today. We've been battling him since the start, but we just minded our own business there and waited for the mistake, and it did come. But Daniel Ricciardo, despite being the one that made contact, is the one that is through at the moment. And, well, There you go, people starting to come into the pits now. Those soft tyre runners from before. So here we come through,
DRS has been
already
enabled.
up to 6th
DRS
place.
is now enabled.
I don't seem so crazy now going onto the hard tyres, do I? Well, more pit stops, and we're actually up to 3rd as it stands. Of course, Verstappen and Perez behind us, you would expect them to float through. Speaking of, there goes Verstappen through with the DRS. Now we know we have got more straight line speed. That was a very late move. There's our front wing, okay.
Mind that front wing.
Yeah, it is,
It'll
to
need
be honest.
replacing if it takes too much damage. Check your MFD for
And
a
we're
new
through.
year's need to go the distance. Gap to teammate behind is 12.5 seconds.
Well, you join me on lap 26. Here comes Max Verstappen now. Surely that is going to be the end of that one, but we do manage to go down the inside once again. And once again we have DRS, so we're managing to just about defend at the moment, and you know, not too many laps to go here. We have got the little bit of damage to the front wing, but remember, there was a little bit from our earlier incident with Gasly, I think it was, and you know, we dealt with it alright. It's not
Our
really
gap to the
affecting
car in
us
front
too
is
much.
8.2 seconds.
The key thing here is just making sure our car is positioned correctly. We've got decent straight line speed. I think we're in a decent position here. Well, Lando Norris into the pits. I'm not entirely sure what's happened to him, but he keeps having visits to the pit lane. Well, those guys behind look pretty scary to me. But we are still in 3rd position at the moment. Is Max Verstappen going to be able to overtake us? That's the big question here. Nope, so he's probably going to have to wait another lap now. And that's the difference here. We're whittling down the laps, whittling down the time. But Verstappen is having a little look into this fast left-hander, and we're just going to let him go. There's no real point in us doing that. I don't know how we're getting away with so many warnings. But, well, we're down to 4th now. We're in pure survival mode here. Well, we're going to show Lewis who's boss. He does go past us, and well, big lock-up from him. Nearly sent him wide. And now we got Lance Stroll behind us. He's going to have a little look. A little bit more our sort of pace level. Well, we managed to hold it down the inside there on Lance Stroll. And we have got DRS. And George Russell is the car behind, and he does have a 5-second penalty. So I think we're in a very good position here to get some excellent points and hopefully get our tally off the mark.
Safety car
Well,
is
safety
out.
car is out.
We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track.
Once
Okay,
again.
slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
Well, the big question is, where do we come out? 13th. I think we stay out there and we just hope to hang on. I mean, we don't know how long the safety car period's going to be, but this is ridiculous. There's now only 15 cars in the race. I'm not entirely sure who is out of the session, but once again, it's a safety car, and this has just been crazy, hasn't it? It has been a crazy, crazy Grand Prix. And, well, we're still running in 5th position. Sonoda is the car behind us. Lots of cars have had to come into the pits for one reason or another. And, well, I mean, this is just bonkers. Once again, we are going to be in a safety car. I mean, what's that, 4 laps to go? It's Giovinazzi now that's out of the session, is it? Couldn't quite see up there. Did say it briefly who it was. Ferrari has come into the pits. You know, I mean, potentially it would have been the opportunity to come in, get some soft tyres on and really go hammer and tongs with everybody, but you don't know when the safety car's going to come in at the end of the day, and I think that's the important point. You know, you don't know when that car's going to come in. I don't think it's going to be this lap, so it's going to be next lap, and it's going to be a 2-lap sprint race, so I don't see us being able to make up the positions, not all the way up to 5th anyway, whereas we might be able to hold off the positions. There's going to be no DRS, which I think is a massive plus. You know, and hey, it might stay out an extra lap and give us a 1-lap sprint race. We've got even more of a chance there, but exciting times. I'll see you guys once we are ready to get racing once again.
Accelerate. Remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
So safety cars in, Bottas leading the way, Ricciardo in 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, Verstappen in 4th. We are currently in 5th position. It's going to be a 2-lap sprint race essentially. So it's all going to be about car positioning, being firm but fair. And we could have 10 points coming our way.
The track is clear.
We're back underway once again here in Austria. I can't believe how many safety cars we've had. It's been safety car galore today. Here comes Tsunoda though. He's having a little look. We are going to defensively take this inside line. We should be okay. And yes, it looks like Tsunoda has backed out of it.
This pace is strong, but be aware your tyres need to go the distance.
Let's have a look at our tyre wear. Ooh, they are pretty beaten up. But as I say, I think we should be alright. If you can defend through turn 4,
laps of fuel remaining.
Then you should be alright. I mean, I can't believe we got 5 laps of fuel. But then I suppose we have had probably 25% of this race under safety car conditions.
The gap to the car ahead is 1.6 seconds.
But we are very much under pressure from the young Japanese driver behind us. And we've run out of deployment on this lap. That could have been fatal.
Lap of the race.
But this is now the final lap of the race.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
You think? But once again, we're going to go defensive with Tsunoda here. Just defend that inside line, make sure that he can't overtake us there. Use the overtake button, and look at that, we've got an excellent gap to Tsunoda now. So we save what battery we've got left for that final run out of the final corner. But we should, as long as nothing goes wrong, be getting our first points in an Alpine. We've deserved it, to be fair. This strategy was risky. Everybody else came into the pits. We stuck to our guns. We led the race for a little bit, but it's Valtteri Bottas that has won the Austrian Grand Prix. And we're going to come over the line in 5th position. 10 championship points.
Okay, pick up
and we
rubber
can be
and bring it home.
absolutely thrilled with that.
Smiling faces on the pit wall after a superb win here in Spielberg, and rightly so, a brilliant effort from the whole team. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Taking care of the car was absolutely vital today. It's been obvious all weekend that the pace was there, but look at the attrition rate we've had. They would have been very concerned about any minor anomaly towards the latter stages of this Grand Prix.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Yuki Tsunoda gets my vote today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Alpine move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Well, there you go. What a performance from both ourselves and Fernando Alonso. It was a crazy race in the end. I mean, if you have a look at that, Schumacher, Giovinazzi, Latifi, Mazepin, Raikkonen, all out of this Grand Prix. And just quite unbelievable, really. George Russell finishing at the back. Let's have a little look at the race director for all the incidents. There were a couple of warnings for exceeding track limits. We had a collision with Verstappen at some point. But, you know, we kept ourselves pretty, you know, much to ourselves at the end of the day. But there you go. Some DNFs in there. Schumacher terminal damage, Giovinazzi, Latifi terminal damage, Nikita Mazepin mechanical failure, and Kimi Raikkonen terminal damage. So there was just lots of crashes out there. Collision with safety car, George Russell got. Unserved penalty, 5 seconds. I guess that's at the end of the Grand Prix. Why did he get so that was for the severe collision with Raikkonen. So he had actually 2 of those. And they must have been added on at the end of the Grand Prix. But wow, what a crazy race, and you know, certainly one of the most enjoyable I've ever had in an F1 game, and you just can't believe it. 10 points into the standings. So yes, I'm all pumped up now, ready for the next one, which of course is our home Grand Prix, I believe. I think it's Britain after this one. And that's going to be an absolute cracker to go around Silverstone again, and hopefully we'll be able to show off our form to the fans and continue this good form, because I think we would add a really strong finish in France as well, had it not been for the gearbox failure. But you know, we gotta take our opportunities where we get them, and that puts us up to 14th in the standings. We're still lowest of the point scorers, believe it or not, with those 10 points. So we are going to have to pick up our game a little bit. I'd love to get into the top 10. I think that could be a bit of a stretch. But, you know, get up somewhere near Fernando. That's the plan. But if you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.